Good evening, Mr. Collins.
Miss Hoffman. Well, I didn't expect to see you so soon again.
I wonder if I might speak to you for a moment.
Well, I don't want to sound rude, but I can't imagine what we have to discuss.
Well, I'm not here to get information from you. I want to show you something.
But what is it?
Well, it's a family album with some portraits of your ancestors I thought you might be interested in seeing.
Why?
Well, I actually had hoped that you would tell me something about them, something I didn't already know.
You're very persistent, Miss Hoffman. I have nothing to tell you.
Then I've made the trip in vain. But since I have made the trip, why don't you let me show them to you anyway?
Come in. But I can only give you a few minutes of my time.
That'll be fine.
I assume that's the book you're talking about.
Yes. Now, here is a portrait of the original Barnabas Collins, your namesake.
So I see.
I must say the resemblance is remarkable.
It's often commented on.
And this is his mother, Naomi. Isn't she lovely?
Yes.
And on the next page, you'll find a portrait of Joshua, the father of Barnabas.
I recognize him from other portraits.
And on the next page is Sarah Collins, the sister of Barnabas.
Oh?
She's on the next page. Why don't you turn the page? She's a lovely child, isn't she?
Yes.
Look at her eyes. They're very much like yours.
Do you think so?
And her features, you really do look very much alike.
What are you doing?
Even historians have a certain amount of feminine vanity. I was just checking my makeup.
Well, I've looked at your portraits, Miss Hoffman. Is that what you wanted?
Yes, I'm sorry that you weren't very interested.
Well, I'm afraid your assumption is correct.
Then I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you very much, Mr. Collins, and good evening.
Good evening, Miss Hoffman. What do you mean you know what I am?
You are Barnabas Collins. The only Barnabas Collins, who died over 130 years ago.
That's an absurd statement.
Don't try to deny it. I've investigated you thoroughly, and I've seen you in your coffin.
Have you?
Yesterday, at dawn.
You realize that such knowledge puts you in great danger.
Well, of course, that's why I took the precaution of putting a dummy in the bed.
But you didn't take the precaution of getting as far away from here as possible.
Oh, because what I need is here.
What is it you want?
You.
I don't know what you mean, but it doesn't matter. Because I am going to kill you, Miss Hoffman.
Dr. Hoffman. Dr. Hoffman.
Dr. Hoffman?
Yes, I can help you.
Help me?
Yes, I tell you, you don't have to live this life.
You're merely trying to save yourself.
Oh, would I let myself be in this position if I didn't believe I had something of value for you and for me?
But there is no other way of life for me.
There is.
It isn't possible.
It wasn't possible 130 odd years ago, but it is possible now.
How can you be so certain?
Because I've spent my lifetime studying conditions such as yours.
How could you have done this? Have there been others like myself?
No, you're the only one I've encountered. That's why you're so important to me. That's why I need you.
Need me?
From the time I entered medical school, I've been fascinated by the relationship of life to death. I believe that one is a continuance of the other, and that someday they will merge and that life will not terminate. That day is close at hand now that I found you.
You assume too much. You assume that I'm interested in your theory.
You can't help but be interested in my theory. You're the only link I know of that can span the two worlds, from dead to living. Oh, my research has been very long and fruitless up till now. Your conditions seem to exist only in legend and story. I had no hope of finding someone like you.
What is this theory of yours?
Whole blood is insufficient to sustain you. That's why you constantly have to replenish your supply.
If I were to permit you, what would you do?
Well, the basis of your problem is the destructive nature of your blood cells. There's an imbalance which causes more cells to be destroyed than replaced. My objective, then, is to alter the cellular structure of your blood by introducing a new plasma into your arterial system.
You begin to intrigue me, Dr. Hoffman. You begin to intrigue me very much.
Are you sure you want it this way?
I'm through arguing the point. The treatments must be accelerated without further comment.
And you're aware that I advise against it.
Thoroughly.
And I accept no responsibility for its consequences.
If we don't hurry, it will soon be morning. I'll begin the treatment.
To proceed without a minimum of caution is against my principles.
Come, Doctor. You gave up working out of principle a long time ago.
All right. I'm ready.
And so, Doctor, am I.
You did this to me. You.
No.
You turned me into something so grotesque that anyone who looks at me would fear me and loathe me.
Barnabas.
Is this your revenge?
Revenge? For what?
For refusing to let our relationship become all that you hoped it would be?
That's ridiculous.
Then why did it happen?
Well, I warned you against taking the massive dosage. You'd let me progress at my own rate of speed with proper controls.
The same thing would have happened.
Not necessarily.
Forgive me, Doctor, but I no longer have any faith in your ability.
I I may be able to counteract this, if you'll give me time.
Time? I have no time. The years have already pressed in upon me, and every passing moment brings me that one step closer to the moment of my death. Strange. It never occurred to me that being human would make me become the man I was. A man who would have been long dead by now. You never thought of it yourself, did you? No, of course not. The clever Dr. Hoffman. You were so busy planning a rosy future for me that you never stopped to think about the obvious.
I still think I can help you.
No. You've done what you can. I no longer need you. From now on, I will decide what's to be done.
Well, what are you going to do?
I must save myself.
What do you mean?
You know the answer to that.
You mean revert?
Yes.
No! Then you'll go on destroying. Every time you do, I'll be partially responsible.
Yes. Now, there's something you must do. Go to Collinwood and tell Vicky that I will not be able to meet her.
You'll have to forego an appointment with Vicky. That must be a bitter pill to swallow.
Spare me the sarcasm, Doctor. Now go.
All right.
Empty. Good. Barnabas must be asleep. Get a hold of yourself. It was only a shutter banging in the window. I've got to be very quiet. I've got to get into that basement without making any noise at all. A coffin. It's here. It really is. Why? It's empty. Empty coffin. What does it mean? Miss Hoffman.
Carolyn, why are you here?
Oh, I was about to ask you the same question.
This is no time for questions. Just go now.
But this coffin, why is it here? What does it mean?
I can't tell you that now.
But it's here just the way David described it. Why?
Just don't ask any questions. Just go now before it's too late.
It's already too late. What are you doing here, Carolyn?
I came to see Cousin Barnabas.
And now you see him.
But you can't be Barnabas.
But I am.
But what's happened to your face? You're so old.
It won't be old much longer. You may scream all you want, but no one will hear you. Now, don't be afraid of me, my dear. I'm not going to hurt you. I wouldn't do anything to hurt my own flesh and blood.